Hello. It's Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Pam. I'm still setting everything up. I'm a little bit late today because I was seeing patients kind of late. Let me find something to prop this up with. Okay, I guess I'll have to hold it. How did I have it last time? I think I had it propped up. Wait a minute, bear with me. And hopefully somebody will come on shortly. There we go. Got it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go on and get started. And hopefully you guys will catch this later, or some people will probably get on while I'm talking, and that's fine. So today on Wellness Wednesday, I'm going to talk about back to school issues, some things that I'm starting to see in the office now. I'll just share those. So, now children are back in school, and one of the issues with that is getting them into a routine, because over the summer they were probably able to stay up later, they were able to probably look at more TV, and so now you basically have to corral them back in, get them to bed earlier, decrease the amount of TV now because they should be doing their homework instead of looking at a lot of TV. The other thing that is going on is they're in school and they're being exposed to a lot of things. So I'm starting to now see more infections. Children are coming in with colds. There is, hand, foot, mouth disease going around. So don't be alarmed, especially those of you who have young children where I got knocked off for a minute. Okay, it looks like I'm back. Those of you who have young children, if it's their first time in school or if they're just starting daycare, they will tend to be sicker than they had been while they were just at home with you. Don't be alarmed by that. That's actually natural. It's okay. It just means that their bodies are being exposed, or their immune system is being exposed, to new things, and it's reacting. And so, that's another thing I want to say is a lot of times I see that parents are really concerned about every little illness. Now, as a parent, that's your job, to be worried. You want to make sure that your child is indeed okay. But, once you go into the doctor and the doctor tells you that your child is fine, that, this is just viral, be happy that it's just viral. Don't be upset at the doctor because you didn't get antibiotics for something that's viral. Because one of the things that a lot of parents don't realize is that, antibiotics aren't just, totally safe, so to speak. I mean, they are pretty much safe and effective for most conditions that you're treating children for, but they can have side effects. And the other thing that happens is that it's not a benign thing. It's still medication. So when medication is given and it's not necessary, that can lead to problems down the line where you could end up with drug resistance, because we do have quite a bit of drug resistance right now. The general public never really knows about the drug resistance until there's a particular disease where it can't be treated anymore. There's still some things where, we're having to use different drugs, but as far as patients know, there's still a drug available that can treat their condition, but we're starting to run out of options for some of these conditions. And one that people are aware of is MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. And so some people's children may have gotten that in the past. And that is one of the examples of what happens when we're using antibiotics when we don't need to, and we start seeing what we call antibiotic resistance. So just because your child is sick, if your child has a viral infection, antibiotics are not going to help that infection. So what can you do? You can have your child stay home, have your child rest. They shouldn't be in school when they first get sick. Obviously, a cold can last 7 to 10 days, so they don't need to necessarily be out of school for that entire time. But right at the beginning of the illness, and for all illnesses, at the beginning of the illness is generally when it's most contagious. So if your child has a fever, that's why we tell you not to send your child to school when they have a fever, because generally that's at the beginning of the illness, and that is the time that they can be contagious. If your child is sick, a lot of times it is best just to keep them home for a couple of days, let their bodies rest, and, you know, get a chance to fight things off. And I know that we are a microwave society now, and we like to get things going. I can't see. I see a couple of people on, but I don't see you guys here. I don't know who's here. But we're a microwave society, and we want things to happen really quickly. You know, it's like, okay, my child's sick. Can't you give me something so that they'll be better and I can send them back to school tomorrow? Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Yes, if it's a bacterial infection, we can give you something and your child will generally start to feel better within 24 hours. If it's a viral infection, the body has to take care of that. It's going to run its course. But the good news is the body was designed to heal itself. So the body actually can do that. Okay? So just a brief recap of what we talked about today, because I just feel like I was kind of rambling on. But it was basically back to school. And so in going back to school, children do need to make sure that they are getting their rest. You want to make sure that they're not doing a lot of screen time. And earlier I said TV. I should have just said screen time, because a lot of children really aren't watching TV anymore, but they're spending a lot of time on the computer. They're playing games, they're playing video games, or they're just using a tablet or a smartphone for screen time. And a lot of parents don't necessarily count that. So I guess I should start saying screen time. Children really should have less than 2 hours screen time a day. Well, that's older children. Little children should have less than an hour screen time a day. So if your child is old enough to be in school, they should be at 2 hours or less of screen time. And a lot of my patients actually during the week, they easily can be at less than 2 hours because they have so much homework to do that there's just not enough time. And then on the weekends, if they want to look at a movie or whatever, that's totally fine. Okay. And then also have to remember that you're going to be seeing more infections in your children now that they are back in school. Don't be alarmed if it's just a basic thing like a cold. Of course, whenever you're in doubt about anything, you do want to contact your doctor or your healthcare provider. And other things that you can do to boost your children's immune system so that they can handle what they're going to be exposed to at school. Getting the proper rest is very important. Eating healthy is extremely important. You want them to be eating real foods. Real foods are going to do a whole lot because 85% of our immune system is located in our gut. So if we're eating right, we're going to be healthier. So if your child's eating right, your child is going to be healthier than if you're allowing your child to just eat junk foods. The children who do not have good nutrition tend to be the children who are sickest. Those are the children who will be sicker longer when they do get sick, and can actually even get what we call secondary infections. So you definitely want to make sure that your child is eating well and resting well. And remember what we talked about last week, mind, body, spirit. All of that is important. You want to be in as stress-free environment as possible. You want them to be exposed to new things, and in general, you want them to be happy, because when we are happy, we tend to be healthier. And so let's see, I think, yes, our time is about up now. Don't want to keep you too long. Oh, hello, Lauren. How are you? Let's see. Do you recommend all children take probiotics as a way to maintain good, healthy immune systems? Probiotics are a good way to maintain their immune system. I don't necessarily recommend it for all children. It is something that's probably becoming as common as taking a multivitamin, but all parents, just aren't able to do that. But definitely that is an immune booster that you can do either on a daily basis or on an as needed basis, like when your child gets sick. If they're not on probiotics, that will be the time to put them on probiotics for a period of time. Okay, hope that answered your question. Thanks for joining today, and thanks for asking a question so that I got something else to talk about. Now, anybody else out there? Any questions before I go? No? Okay. And, the one thing that I will have to say, even in answering Lauren's question, is that, I am just giving general information. I cannot give you medical advice unless I'm actually your physician. So, any true medical advice, you always want to run things by your physician first before you do anything. Okay, that's my disclaimer. All right. Well, I will see you guys next Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Pam. And I don't know what we're going to be talking about yet. I usually pick the topics. Like this topic was just based on what I kind of saw during the week in the office. So, next Wednesday might be what I saw in the office or, something that was brought to my attention. So we'll see you next week. Today is Wednesday. Yes, you have a wonderful Wednesday. Goodbye.